Hi, my name is Catherine, and this is my story of living with Myasthenia Gravis. What is Myasthenia Gravis? Well, for one, it's hard to pronounce, but what it is a rare, chronic, uncurable disease. It causes abnormal weakness of certain muscles, such as the voluntary muscles in your face, your limbs, and your legs. Um, It's caused by a defect in the action of acetylcholine at neuromuscular junctions, rapid fatigue of the muscles. Um, Basically, think of it kind of like a radio signal where your muscles exist, they're still there, it doesn't atrophy. But what happens is the signals that your brain is sending to your muscles to tell you to do things isn't actually reaching the receptors. Yep. And the more you use those muscles, the weaker they become. Also a bummer. I first started showing symptoms September 2015. I remember because I was going on a road trip and my speech was impaired. And it was really hard for me to breathe and swallow. It was hard to explain to everybody. It was like I couldn't move my lips correctly. It didn't make sense. And so when I got back from my road trip, I made a doctor's appointment with my family doctor. I also suffer from epilepsy. That is also an incurable disorder. Means that you have seizures, which is convulsions. Had that since I was 8. But that is an entirely different story. Anyways, so because I already had that pre-existing condition, I was concerned that it was related somehow. But instead of going straight to my neurologist, I went to my family doctor first. I was really hoping it was going to be something simple, something I could fix. Well, he told me that I had anxiety. I know I don't have anxiety. In his defense, I'm told this is an extremely difficult disease to diagnose. It's because it's so rare. Well, anyways, I knew he was wrong. Typically, you would need your family doctor to refer you to a specialist. But because I already had a neurologist, I didn't have to do that. So I went straight to her, and she diagnosed me, I think in under a minute. Yeah. Dr. Diedrich. She's amazing. Brilliant. Anyways, now of course, to officially diagnose it, she had to run through a whole bunch of tests. Those tests originally, were considered running a typical physical, testing your airway, your voluntary muscles, the response, and all that, right? That's your basic one. Because the symptoms of myasthenia gravis include double vision, drooping eyelids, difficulty with speech, swallowing, breathing. Now, it's common for women under 40 and 25. I mean, it's not actually common, but those are the age ranges for people that do have it. In men, it's typically over 60. And it's caused by antibodies. Your immune system produces antibodies that block or destroy the receptor sites of your muscles. And the test to diagnose that also included, I have really long names, so I wrote it down. To confirm the diagnosis, and there's something called an androphonium test. Injection of the chemical androphonium chloride, That results in sudden temporary improvement in muscle strength, which might indicate that you have myasthenia gravis. Androphonium chloride blocks an enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, the chemical that transmits signals from your nerve endings to your muscle receptor sites. There's also an ice pack test. If you have a droopy eyelid, your doctor might place a bag filled with ice on your eyelid. After 2 minutes, your doctor removes the bag and analyzes your droopy eyelid for signs of improvement. Blood test. A blood test might reveal the presence of abnormal antibodies that disrupt the receptor sites where nerve impulses signal your muscles to move. Repetitive nerve stimulation. This one's kind of fun. Don't worry, it didn't hurt. In this nerve condition study, right, doctors will attach electrodes to your skin over your muscles to be tested, and they send small pulses of electricity through the electrodes to measure the nerve's ability to send a signal to your muscle. So even though it doesn't hurt, you can tell your friends got electrocuted. There's also an EMG. That test measures the electrical activity traveling between your brain and your muscle. It involves inserting a fine wire electrode through your skin and into a muscle to test a single muscle fiber. Your doctor also might order a CT scan or an MRI to check if there's a tumor or other abnormality in your thalamus. Your thalamus is right here. I didn't even think it did anything until I got diagnosed. I didn't know your thalamus did stuff. Anyways, your thalamus is the gland that triggers or maintains the production of the antibodies that block everything. So if you have a tumor in your thalamus or something's wrong with it, then they can that could be causing it. A lot of test guides. Pulmonary function tests. This will evaluate whether the condition is affecting your breathing. Mine does. What she had me do was take as deep a breath as I possibly could and to count as fast as I could. And I couldn't even make it to 10. If you can't make it to 10, you're supposed to go to the emergency room. I kind of don't. But you're supposed to. So I passed all those tests and got my official diagnosis. Yeah. That was in November. So I started showing symptoms in September and got diagnosed November of 2015. What she did for me was she put me on 2 different medications. This is Mestinon. I'm supposed to take it every 4 hours. So what I recommend for you to do is if you're not good at remembering to take medicine, set an alarm on your phone, on your watch. Whatever you have to do to remember to take it every 4 hours. And earlier I mentioned how it gets worse the more you use those muscles. So in my instance, I had to speak all day long at my job, which meant in the mornings before work or at night, anytime I wasn't working, I wouldn't talk, or I would talk as little as possible, because I was trying to save my voice, my ability to speak for my job. And luckily, when I'm off work, my friends, they didn't make fun of me for it. My sister, I didn't even have to talk when I came over to see her. Got that whole sister in mind thing. It's a thing, yeah. it was still depressing though, because quick wit, jokes, being a smartass, all those things that, kind of involve my sense of humor. And jokes aren't really funny when it takes 10 minutes for you to try and get it out, And I used to do karaoke. Every Friday. It was awesome. I'm not saying I was like any good at it or anything, but it was fun. I'd hold a note, sang all the time. Sang in the radio, sang in the shower, went on stage and did it. And yeah, I liked singing a lot. And suddenly I couldn't sing anymore. When you're diagnosed with an incurable disease, a chronic disorder, something that you can't escape, you go through a lot of emotions. And these are the things that the doctors don't tell you, which is why I'm doing this video. I want to promote awareness and help anyone who just needs someone to talk to, trying to understand how to live like this. You start feeling like less of a person, and you have to say goodbye to the person that you used to be. Your life has completely changed. It's not going back, and you have to learn to live like this. And it's sad, to say goodbye to yourself. And it's scary to become someone new and to think that you're less than who you used to be. And it'll feel that way when so many things are taken away from you. But that doesn't mean you should give up. I'm gonna try and explain that too, because it's worth it. All of it. All the pain, all the sadness, all the BS that you didn't ask for and you don't deserve. It's worth it. First thing you really go to is basically the stages of grief. You're in denial. You start to isolate yourself. Don't do the isolation thing. Try and find someone to connect with. And that's hard because, I'm lucky enough to have family members and very close friends that I was able to lean on. But they're never going to understand what I go through. Never. And they can't. And I wouldn't want them to, because I wouldn't wish this on anyone. So it gets lonely. So I also recommend joining a support group. I'm a part of 3 different support groups. 2 of them are for myasthenia, 1 is for epilepsy. And it's just, you're gonna need someone to relate to. It's good to have friends and family members you can talk to, but it will get lonely. It's nice to have someone that knows what you're going through. And sometimes it's easier to talk to a total stranger. It's true. It is easy to deny the reality of the situation. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. It's normal to react that way. And to try and rationalize your emotions. It's a buffer for that immediate shock. And that numbing to our emotions. And we block out the words and hide from the facts. It's okay, there's nothing wrong, but you can't run from something like that. It's in your face, it's a part of who you are. I couldn't speak, I couldn't breathe, there's no ignoring that fact. So then, I got angry. And I'm still angry all the time, every day. But I've also accepted the anger. Anger masks the effects of denial and isolation, and they begin to wear off. Reality jumps in, pain reemerges. I wasn't ready, and it's scary. It's such an intense emotion. Redirected and expressed instead as anger. And even though there's no one at fault, that kind of makes it worse. We didn't do anything to deserve this. So then you want to bargain with some invisible being. I'm not religious. I have faith, but I have faith in myself, which is a little different. That doesn't mean I didn't just look up and think, why? I promise I'll be good. I'm a good person. Why? There's no one for me to bargain with. There's just the really angry why. So then you'll probably get depressed after that. It's very, very common to get depressed. Don't be ashamed if you talk to your doctor about it and they put you on antidepressants. I was on antidepressants for a little bit until I decided I didn't need them. And there's so many different ways to cope with that. February 2016, I believe. Not too long after I was diagnosed, she started putting me on plasmapheresis. That is also very difficult to pronounce. This procedure uses a filtering process. It's similar to dialysis. Your blood is routed through a machine that removes the antibodies that block transmission of signals from your nerve endings to your muscles' receptor sites. The good effects usually last only a few weeks, and repeated procedures lead to difficulty accessing veins. So the more your veins are tapped into, the harder it is for them to find. It's like they hide. But yeah, I went to a doctor's visit, and I explained to her that the night before I was choking on my own saliva. And I was gonna go to work that day. I know, I'm so dumb. She immediately sent me to the hospital, and I had emergency plasmapheresis. Made me sign a waiver, your will and testament, saying that if you die, it's not their fault, and you do or do not want to be resuscitated. It was pretty mad. I think it scared a couple of my family members. I put a port in my neck and did the whole process. It takes a couple hours for it to filter all that out. And the nurses were kind of funny though. Everyone else in there were like zombies, right? I think they were all dialysis unit anyway. So they were like, "Oh, we got a live one." And they came over and they talked to me a little bit. And I like palm reading, so they got in a line and I read their palms. And yeah, so that was kind of fun. Kind of stay entertained, I guess. So I did that, I think 4 days in a row. And then I went back to work. And then I talked to my doctor. She told me about a surgery. Now, when she had done the CT and the MRI, it didn't show any tumors on my thalamus, but she talked to me about going ahead and removing it anyway to see if it would help. If you decide to have the surgery, my advice is to talk to your loved ones. I talked to my significant other about the risks that this procedure would entail, and it was my choice. And I told him if this was a chance to extend my life, then I wanted to do it. So he supported me on that. The rest of my family supported my decision. And I talked to my job and told them that I was going to be out for a while because the recovery time of the surgery is 3 months. I had my surgery April 20th of 2016. I wasn't scared because I knew it was going to happen. I knew that the recovery was probably going to really get to me. You know, having to lay in bed for 3 months. And that weighs on people, you know? Being that helpless for that long. I remember the lights on the ceiling. And I remember waking up. I woke up screaming. Yeah. I tried to be tough and hold it in and not scream. In order to do that, you know, you gotta kind of grind your teeth. And I had to hold my breath. And I realized if I wanted to breathe, then I was gonna have to scream because there was no stopping it without it. So I screamed for a good couple hours. The nurses asked if I wanted to let my family in. My mom and my boyfriend were there. And I waited until I was kind of done screaming before I told them they could come in. They gave me some pain medicine, and it still hurt. And it's always good to have someone there with you, right? Trying a support system. I can't express that anymore. Support system and support groups, both. My boyfriend read to me. I have no idea what he was reading. And just his voice gave me something to focus on. And my mom played with my hair. Again, still hurt a lot, but at least there was something to focus on other than the pain. So that was April. Took me 3 months to recover. Can't remember how many days I was actually in the hospital. I think it was maybe a week. And the first time that I walked again after surgery, my best friend came to visit. And she kind of held me up, which is funny because she's super tiny. And it meant a lot that she came. And then I had a cold at the same time I had surgery, so I was coughing a lot. They had just cracked my chest open, removed my thalamus, and then tied it back together with titanium wire, and I spent the whole time coughing. And it hurt. Yeah. Went back to my parents, stayed there, and recovered as best I could. The most comfortable way to deal with that is they give me this heart pillow. You just hold it and try and lay on your back the whole time. Anytime I try and lay on my side, it would hurt so bad. It left me with that. I have another scar too, but it's under the boob, so I'm not going to show it to you. And if you're uncomfortable with scars, you can always cover it with makeup, tattoo over it. I've seen some very pretty tattoos that people do to cover scars. There's scar removal cream. I got that for a little bit, but it's really expensive and I didn't see too much of a difference. Derma. Or just wear shirts that cover it. I thought about getting a tattoo because I don't like my scar, but I think it's finally starting to grow on me. Yeah. Only took 3 years. um, Anyways, where was I? Surgery, scar, hurt a lot. Another thing that you can do when learning how to live with this condition is if you're like me and you typically don't like to talk about it, medical bracelet. I have one for myasthenia and one for epilepsy. And you don't have to get ones that look like this. They have all different kind of designs. I like those. After my surgery, I actually got worse. I remember being at work and I started having double vision. Now, it didn't scare me because I had learned that this was a possible condition or symptom of myasthenia. It had never been one of mine before. Mine was facial muscles, arms, and legs. But it was disheartening. So it's like, oh, great, I get the surgery, I go through all this stuff, and now I get more symptoms. That's when I went on antidepressants. I didn't stay on them long, though. Yeah, I didn't feel much of a difference, and I decided I didn't like them. It's just 4 pills to take. If you are dealing with double vision, get an eye patch. It's a lot easier than just covering one eye, right? Eventually your arm gets tired. You can look like a pirate, decorate, look cool, whatever you want. Eye patch. And it's weird, okay? So the double vision is actually like one on top of the other instead of side to side. I always thought double vision was side to side. No, it's like this is really weird. The thing about this is this disease is chronic. I am sick every single day. I have had people tell me, oh, you should complain more. You seem like you do all the time. Well, that's because I'm always sick. I mean, no one wants to listen to me complain every single day. That gets old very quickly. And, now granted, some days are worse than others. Those are called flare-ups. And there are triggers that will typically cause this. Fatigue will make it worse. So if you're tired, you're gonna get more tired. Yeah. When you're sick, when you're stressed out, when you're pregnant, which I am, by the way, I'm pregnant. Due January. Oh, and if you're on your period, that'll make it worse too. So in order to not get stressed out, I started meditating. For those of you who meditate, props to you because it's difficult. I mean, it's not always easy to just be in your own head. But I managed to do it after some practice. So anytime things would start to feel overwhelming, I'd just try and take a minute, listen to your body, If your body's telling you that you are too tired to do something, then listen to it. I know that's hard to do. I have a lot of trouble doing that. I was constantly pressured at work. Katie, you can't keep calling out. You can't keep calling out sick, or you have to give us a heads up. They have more of a heads up than I did. I get up in the morning, try to stand, just realize I couldn't stand. I had every intention of going to work, but my legs aren't working. Or I'll get there and I won't be making as many sales because I can't speak. Stressed out. And then I'd come home and the house is a mess. But all they see is me just sitting on the couch. And they just have no idea. Like, I'm sorry, I mean, I love people and all, but when someone would compare their long, hard day at work to me being tired, buddy, your definition of tired is very, very different from my definition of tired. Mine is a freaking disease, and then I'm tired on top of that. Don't try and compare me. You can't. You can't. Suck it up. um, when it affects your limbs, like, I could not lift my arms above my head. That's how bad it was. I would have to have my boyfriend shower with me so he could hold me up. Or, he brushed my hair for me because I couldn't lift my arms up. Yeah. Sweet guy. He took care of me after my surgery. Because I couldn't. Yeah, so listen to your body. Meditate. Find a healthy outlet. For me, my outlets are writing, drawing, and I play guitar. All of those are things that I can do without standing up. And it gets things out. You got to put all that pent up aggravation, resentment, anger, sadness, loneliness. If you keep that in, you're just gonna get repressed, which is also not healthy. So find a healthy outlet, something that works for you, that you enjoy, to try and get all that stuff out in a positive way. Yeah, I had to change a lot to try and become the person I am now. I would get really upset when I couldn't speak. Because I'm not really the kind of person that talks a lot. I'm not that gabby person. But I've always been articulate. And I was kind of known for that. I got that taken away from me. I remember my boyfriend being like, "Hey, you don't sing in the car anymore. Why don't you sing?" I know he was trying to be nice and sweet. He couldn't understand that. It's not that I didn't want to. I really wanted to. Service dog. I have one. I love dogs. So, maybe I can get him in the picture. Beowulf, come on. Get in the picture. Let's see how cute you are. Yeah, come here. Now, he's not actually certified. He never finished his training due to unforeseen circumstances that kind of had to put a stop on that. But he does know how to catch me when I fall and pick me up if I'm already hitting the ground. That has come in handy many, many times. Because my ex-boyfriend and my ex-roommate, they were great, you know? They helped me out, but I can't be babysat 24/7, and I really don't want to be. I'm gonna like him. So I've got this great dog that's caught me on many occasions. And even when he hasn't, he helps me right back up. So if you can do it, get a service dog. They're cool. They're awesome. They're great. And they're friendly, so if you get lonely, pets are good. What else? What I was gonna say? Working out. Going to the gym. It's not a bad idea. Yes, using your muscles will make you weaker, but you still need them to be there when they do work. Get a trainer. I got a trainer so that he can tell me what I can do without hurting myself. And because this is so rare, he had to do some research on it, but he did, and he did a great job. So I was going to the gym for a long time. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Alright, so after the surgery, after my double vision thing, after my antidepressants, what my doctor did, she put me on IVIG. That is short for, I'm going to try and pronounce it, intravenous therapy. So what that does is it provides your body with normal antibodies, which alters your immune system response. Benefits are usually seen in less than a week and can last from 3 to 6 weeks. Side effects are usually chills, dizziness, headaches, fluid retention. Basically, if you've ever had a hangover, that's it. I refer to it as a hanger because it feels exactly like I just got hammered the night before. Also, stop drinking. It just makes it worse. If I try and drink alcohol, for one, my muscles are already not working, and all alcohol does is relaxes you. Yeah, I don't need any more of that. Plus, with my medication, I got this red rash on my face. Not attractive. I'm alright. Anyways, so what that does is I have a nurse that comes to my home, and they send you a box full of medical stuff. This is called a pump administration set. Basically, it's one of those wires that they stick into your arm with the needle. It's got the tube, and it sends. There's this fluid. They send you the intravenous stuff. They hook that up to this pump. Your nurse does, and it gets into your system through these. These are all the shot stuff. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we don't use every single one of these for every infusion. We just like to give us a whole bunch. You're supposed to put the used needles in this nice biohazard cup thing. Yeah. Now, with that, it used to be really bad. Alright? It was a 4-day long process and takes about 4 hours for each one. This is going to be different for everybody. And that's just what I went through. They've finally got it back, not back, but they cut it down to now I only have it once a day, every 4 weeks. So it doesn't take as long. It's not quite as often. I still get a hangover, but the hangover usually only lasts 1 day now, maybe 2. Where before it lasted a lot longer. So I have improved. I can speak a lot better than I used to. I can breathe better. The treatments are still once a month, but they're more manageable. It's convenient that the nurse can come to my house. I'm still on the same medication every 4 hours. And that continues to go on. So maybe they'll miraculously come up with a cure. Who knows? No, it's been a rough year. For you moms out there, yes, you can get pregnant if you have myasthenia. Yes, the medication you are on is okay and is safe. The only thing that they took me off of was the pain medication, which I miss a lot. But I stopped taking it, even though it hurt, because I love this little guy. Yeah. If you're having a flare up and you're having trouble eating, like I did quite often, I went on a smoothie diet. Now, sometimes if it's really bad, I couldn't even drink. I would try and drink some water, and it would just come out my nose, which hurts, by the way. It's kind of painful. But if you can manage it, there's smoothies, there's soups. What my ex would do is he would make me these little personal pizzas and then cut it up super small, like bite size. So if you can, chew it all, just take really small bites, and that'll be manageable. Past couple months have been pretty rough. With the pregnancy, it does cause a flare-up. It is a major trigger. It's been hard for me to do a lot. But I also lost my job, lost my boyfriend, lost my home, all in the span of 3 months, while being pregnant and sick. And even though I may get sad and lonely, I know that I did the right thing. I had to leave. I was put in a potentially harmful situation, and I took action, and I left. And I'm just learning to deal with it. Got way ahead of myself though. Today is November 3rd, 2019. November 31st, 2018, I was in a car accident. I broke my back. I had been in car accidents before. This was different. Those other ones, I walked away without a scratch. This one, when I close my eyes, I hear the beeping of my car. I see the dashboard lights flashing at me. I feel searing, unbridled pain. It hurt so bad. I had to get out of there. I had to get out. I tried to open my driver's side door, and I couldn't. It kept bumping up against something. Later, someone told me it was the gas line, and if I had crashed an inch farther, I would have blown up. I was conscious enough to realize that I couldn't get out because of my seatbelt. I always carry a pocket knife on me. So I took my pocket knife and I used the seatbelt cutter and I tumbled out on the passenger side door. I crawled away from my car. I didn't know what happened to my glasses, so I couldn't see. Someone had managed to find my phone, and I had managed to unlock it and point to the name of my boyfriend. And there was a woman. She was the one that called him for me. I don't remember her name or what she said to me. But I remember her face. I stared at her the whole time waiting for the paramedics. And I lost consciousness quite a few times. I remember they had to cut me out of my clothes. And it was winter, so it was cold. And I get cold easily, so I had on like 5 layers. They were probably wearing when they were getting it to me in. And then I remember being at the hospital and seeing his face. I was so worried I wasn't gonna see his face. And I just remember relief washing over me. And the whole time I hadn't cried, but when I saw him, I just started bursting into tears. Because I knew everything was gonna be okay. Because I saw him. And no matter what happened, it was gonna be okay. I got pretty bad PTSD from that. Couldn't sleep for weeks. Close my eyes and I'd be there. I'd see it happen all over again. I was afraid to ride in a car. I was afraid to drive a car. And they put me in a back brace for 3 months. I went back to work after a week. And I had a family to take care of, and I couldn't afford not to work. So after a week of being out, I went straight back at it. Then they let me sit down, thankfully, and then on my lunch breaks, I would lay down in the break room. My coworkers had to come in and pick me up once in a while. If there wasn't someone in there at the end of my range, I'd be like, hey, I need a hand. They just come in, I'll be on the floor. But laying straight made it hurt less. It was having my chest cracked open was the most painful thing I've ever been through. But that car accident was probably the scariest. I didn't choose it. I didn't know it was gonna happen. I got really depressed after that. Because I didn't know if I was ever gonna heal. I felt so worthless. And just like a burden on everyone. Which is why I always try so hard. It's because I do. I feel like I'm burning, and I don't want to be that, and I feel like I'm useless. So I was in pain, and I was sad, and I get frustrated because that would make me sick, and then I'd be frustrated about being sick. It's just a complete cycle. No. My roommate at the time, before my accident, I had upset her. So, she had stopped talking to me. I finally confronted her about it, and she told me that I was worthless. She didn't want to be my friend. I asked her if she would have cared if I had died. She said maybe. Please don't ever tell anyone that they're worthless. Even if it's someone I loathed, I would never say that to another human being. I already felt worthless, and then she just went and confirmed it. This was someone that, I really care about. I guess she felt better after hurting my feelings, though, because then she started acting like my friend again. Yeah. Anyways, I got better. I got worse before I got better. The PTSD did. Sights and sounds would trigger it. And then it got to the point where it didn't take triggers anymore. It was happened randomly. And I was just scared all the time. And I would just reach for my boyfriend when it happened. Because I've never been afraid of anything. And then here I was, this person, afraid all the time. I didn't like who this was. It was nice that he was there, He may not have waited on me hand and foot, and there were certainly some instances where I could have used his assistance, and that didn't happen. But when I was scared like that, him just being there, that made it okay. Not afraid to drive anymore. Not afraid to ride in the car. I still see it when I close my eyes, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. My back is healed. After that, I started hitting the gym. That's when I got my trainer. I went once a week, every week, and made a lot of progress, because after being on the couch for 3 months, you get kind of lazy. So, hitting the gym was a good thing for me. The only reason I stopped going is because I got pregnant, and my life turned upside down. But, yeah. Now I'm here, living with Myasthenia Gravis, coping, medical jewelry, service dog, family, support group, healthy outlet, meditation, and just hang in there. Because it's worth it. It is. It's all worth it. I hope this video may help some people. And if you have any questions, comments, thanks guys. Thanks for listening.